Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local school districts and sponsors. I'm Jim McCoy, here with Johnny McCoy here on the camera, coming to you live from Harry and David Field in Medford, Oregon. We thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore Game Day, powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon. Today we are featuring the Silverton Foxes versus the South Medford Panthers. This game on TableRockSports.net is brought to you in partnership with our community business partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for today's event. Please let our sponsors know you appreciate their support, and if you can, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Table Rock Sports and click on the red subscribe button. We will let you know when games go live. We're just moments away from game time. The Panthers huddled over in shallow left field, talking things over before the game begins. Both of these teams playing their second game of the season. Both of them seeking their first win of the year. Yesterday, the Panthers saw their first action of the 2023 campaign and ended up being taken down in a 5-2 ball game, a game in which the Panthers, it wasn't a particularly bad outing. It was just probably in terms of offense with 5 hits, just not quite enough. Pitching-wise, having given up 5 runs, gave up maybe just a little bit more than they would like to do. But you know, right now at this point, it's about shaking off the rust. It's about getting out there and playing, and nobody wins championships in March, at least not in the sport of baseball. So right here, we're just about a week in front of spring break. These teams, some of these guys out here, multi-sport athletes, they're just coming off of basketball. In fact, as a broadcaster, this time last week, I was over at the 5A tournament over in Corvallis at Oregon State University. So I think everybody's just kind of switching gears mentally a little bit. And then as far as the athletes themselves go, obviously there are more than a few athletes that baseball is a year-round passion for them, that they're constantly at work doing. For those, so in their case, they're probably a little bit ahead of the game, but there will be those lion's share of athletes that they just put the basketball away. So it's a matter of kind of, you know, your muscles and everything kind of working towards getting ready for all things diamond sports. What we'll do right now, we're going to take a quick timeout before the game gets underway. The coaches are gathered at home plate with the umpiring crew, exchange of the lineup cards, and getting all things set as we get ready to go. First pitch is scheduled about 3 minutes from now at 4:30 here on this overcast and slightly breezy day here at the very south end of Medford, where you'll find the Medford Rogues doing their business in the summer, playing summer woodbat college ball. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll be back as we get you ready for today's broadcast. It's the Foxes and South Medford here on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Get ready for winter's snowy, icy, slippery roads at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up on over 100 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs, and every pre-owned 4x4 and all-wheel drive in stock is sale priced. Many are still under factory warranty or come with our 60-day, 3,000-mile comprehensive used vehicle warranty. And our finance experts are ready to help with a quick, easy, and hassle-free process with great finance options. Be safe, warm, and secure this winter. Get to the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do you do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Any phone you want.
Anyone I want?
Any phone you want.
Say cheese.
Connection is the greatest gift of all.
Mama.
At US Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back to Harry and David Field. We're just a couple moments away from the start of this afternoon's contest, a non-league game featuring the 6A South Medford Panthers out of the Southwest Conference and the 5A Silverton Foxes from the Mid-Willamette Conference. The Panthers, coached by Josh Moody, assisted by Scott Carl and Eric Lund. The Foxes coached by Easton Bennett and assisted by Jeremiah Runyon, Colton Meyer, John Hovius, and Dave Olin. Out on the mound for the South Medford Panthers, Tristan Malari, left-handed pitcher, getting set to do battle with the leadoff hitter of the game for the Foxes, Cade Wynn. He'll be followed in the order by Carson Waples, and in the hole will be Sawyer Enderly. Defensively, the challenger of the Panthers go as follows. You'll have Sam Thompson at first base. Over at second base will be Jordan Sawyer. Shortstop is Cameron Sewell, and over at third is Elijah Havey. The outfield from left to right will feature Jake Mason, Kyle Cope, and over and right will be Cooper Mitchell. Behind the plate is Caleb Long. We saw him playing right field last year. Leadoff hitter here is Cade Wynn. Glad you could join us. The Hayes in the barn, it's time to go. Swing and a miss on the first pitch of the ball game. Second offering from Cope ends up, Malari I should say, is up and out of play. So the Panther left-hander ahead in the count, 0-2. Comes to the plate, this pitch, outside. Wynn earns a reprieve as the count goes 1-2. Ground ball hit to third base on a couple of bounces. Throw across the infield. He'll have to tag him, and he's out. We've got one away as the play goes 5-3 on the ground up by Wynn. One away. That'll bring up the second baseman, Carson Waples, wearing number 2, right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss. As the count goes 0-1, top of the first, winds, fires, that pitch inside. That'll level things up. Waples up at the dish. Sawyer Enderly, third baseman on deck. Malari finds the outside corner of the plate. Now he's ahead on the count, 1-2. You always got to love it when your pitcher starts out right out of the chute, throwing strikes as he's doing here. Count even now at 2-2. Malari swing and a miss. The lefty picks up his first K of the contest. 2 down. And here's Sawyer Enderle. Enderle, a 5'10 sophomore. He can also pitch, too. Fouls that one off first base side. So once again, 3 hitters and strikes on the first pitch to each hitter. With the ball from Malari, now the count evens up at 1-1. There's one fouled back to the screen. Malari here trying to work his way through and finish up the first inning of play. Top of the first anyway. And a swing and a miss. So whereas getting strikes yesterday sounds like it was a little bit of a challenge for the Panthers, not the case here in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. Scoreless ball game with South Medford coming up.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Bottom 1, getting our first look here on Table Rock Sports at the 2023 edition of the South Medford Panthers. Their lineup will go as follows. Leading off and playing center field will be Kyle Cope. In the number 2 spot, the shortstop, senior Cameron Sewell. In the number 3 hole, Elijah Havey playing third base today. In the cleanup spot, the catcher, Caleb Long. He'll be followed by Jordan Sawyer playing second base. Cooper Mitchell's the right fielder hitting 7th. Actually, I should say 6th. And in the 7th spot is Jake Mason playing left field. In the number 8 spot, the first baseman, Sam Thompson. And the pitcher, Tristan Malari, will hit in the number 9 spot. They will test themselves against right-hander Logan Hendrickson. Hendrickson, 6'3", junior. When he's not on the hill, you'll also see him on the infield corners. Kyle Cope stands in. Today's center fielder. Even stance, right-handed stick. First pitch is over for a strike. Hendrickson ahead in the count at 0-1. Pitch off the plate, and that will even things up at 1-1. Next pitch. And that's what you want your leadoff hitter doing. You want him seeing pitches and finding whether it's via the walk, a base hit, or any other means, somehow, some way of getting on base. He'll go ahead and hit a line drive out to left field. It's over the head of the left fielder, scooting around first and going into second base, standing up. Kyle Cope, leadoff double to start the inning for South Medford. At least it looked like from these eyes that the outfield playing Cope shallow. And Cope just went ahead and put it over the head of the Fox's left fielder. Playing out there today is Nolan Wagner. So we got a runner on second. Number 2 man in the order, Cameron Sewell. Senior shortstop looks at a strike as the count goes 1-1. Next offering, Silverton catcher. Brady had just a little bit of trouble with it, but manages to keep it in front of him. James Brady behind the plate. Sewell, an excellent hitter, showing good patience there. And now he's ahead in the count at 3-1. Nobody out here, bottom of the first. Ball hit in the air over to the first base side. And that will end up over the screen, out of play, back toward the seats. And that'll run the count full at 3-2. Got my first look at Sewell back at the Northwest Baseball Showcase a couple of summers ago. It's been fun to watch him as a player, just continue to grow in his craft. Good player and makes solid contact there. It's going to hang in the air over in right field. A little collision there. But the right fielder holds on, and there's one down. Runner tagging. On to third base is Cope. RBI opportunity for Elijah Havey. Havey with 2 hits yesterday. And the Panthers loss, and he's going to go the other way with it. Base hit. 1 run will score, and it gets past the right fielder and motoring into second. He's going to keep it going. Havey will go into third standing up. South Medford on the board first. And now up at the plate is the cleanup man, Caleb Long. That one's going to catch the inside corner of the plate. Count goes 0-1 as the pitcher Hendrickson gets ahead here. So Havey with an RBI triple, putting his team ahead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Borrowing a little soccer phraseology, Panthers on the front foot here. Opportunity here to do a little more business. Long, the hitter with Havey at third. Long now ahead in the count at 2-1. Hits a ground ball to third. Throw across the infield. And Havey goes down for out number 2. Third baseman making the play. Sawyer Enderly looked the runner back to third. 5-3, the ground out goes, and with 2 down, here's Jordan Sawyer. Hendrickson gets ahead here, 0-1. On deck is the right fielder, Cooper Mitchell. Pitch momentarily gets away from the catcher, but he smothers it. Pitch count now at 1-1. Ball hit in the air on the first base side, looking to make a play on it and closing the mid on it. Brash Henderson. And that will end the Panther threat in the first inning. They get 1 run on 2 hits. No Fox errors. We'll go to the top of the second on the other side of this break. You're watching Oregon High School Baseball on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with Crispy Crunchy Chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
We go to the top of the second inning. Cope, who earned 2 Ks in the first inning. Going to look and see if he can keep the trend going as the Foxes send to the plate James Brady. He'll be followed in the order by Brash Henderson. And then the pitcher, Logan Hendrickson, hitting in the number 6 spot. First offering from Cope is a strike. He'll get ahead on the count here at 0-1. Brady a bit of an open stance. Will this one fall in? No, running in and making the catch for South Medford. Kyle Cope is there, and we've got 1 out in the inning. Top of second. Panthers up 1-0. Now Brash Henderson up to hit. Cope once again getting ahead of the count here at 0-1. Cope looking to see maybe he couldn't get him fishing there. Henderson lays off of it. Count goes even at 1-1. Just in time for the spring sports seasons, Table Rock Sports welcomes Dutch Bros to our sponsor lineup. Now, when you enjoy your favorite Dutch Bros treats, you will also be helping connect high school sports fans, teams through Table Rock Sports. Malari here, ahead in the count. 1-2. Left-hander off to a good, strong start here in this outing. Game number 2, and he's swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down in the inning. That's 3 strikeouts in the game now for Malari. Bouncing ball, comebacker to the mound. Malari goes down to first. They make the play. And so once again, 3 up, 3 down. Go to the bottom of the second with the Panthers leading in the ball game by a score of 1-0. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
We go bottom 2, South Medford. They will turn to lead off the inning. They're 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Mitchell, Mason, and Sam Thompson. Cooper Mitchell playing right field today in the number 6 spot. Going to go to work against Hendrickson. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Today's game is brought to you by Schlesinger and DeVilleneuve, attorneys with practices throughout Southern Oregon, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior at youth sporting events. Next pitch just misses inside. Hendrickson working ahead here, 1-2 count to lead off the bottom of the second. Bouncing ball hit out to left field. That's going to get past the left fielder. Turning on the afterburners and coming into second base, standing up. A leadoff double by Cooper Mitchell. The Panthers, who had just 5 hits all day yesterday, now collect their 3rd safety of the ball game. And all of the extra base variety. Oh, hitting in the number 7 spot, wearing number 5. Playing left field is Jake Mason. RBI opportunity here in the second inning. Hendrickson gets the first pitch over. He's ahead 0-1. That pitch gets away from the catcher and running down to third base is Mitchell. So the second run of the ball game for the Panthers is just 90 feet away. Nobody out. And the count level. So the MO here, make a little contact. And let's see if they can bring Mitchell home. Next pitch, that one's outside. Brady has a little bit of trouble with it, but manages to run it down in time. Mason ahead here. 2-1 count. Next pitch, that one looked like it might have been just a tad bit inside, and he gets yanked foul. And that will even up the count at 2-2. Hendrickson out of the stretch. Mason will watch that one go by and runs the count full at 3-2. Payoff pitch coming with first base open and a man on third. The offering from Hendrickson. Hit off to the right. Mason stays alive. Man on deck is the first baseman, Sam Thompson. That pitch inside. The free pass for Mason. And now the Panthers have runners at the corners. And a little discussion going to go on at the hill for the brain trust of the Silverton Foxes. Head coach Easton Bennett. He's assisted by Jeremiah Runyon, Colton Meyer, John Hovius, and Dave Olin. No doubt a little discussion about where the plays are if the ball's hit on the ground. Foxes would love to get a twin killing right here and limit the damage to the South Medford threat. Mason threatening to go over at first base. And he heads back to the bag. You see Hendrickson over there. It's like, nah, I see you. Standing in, the right hand hitting Thompson. Runner goes, pitch inside. Play at the plate. And coming home safely South Medford with their second run of the ball game. Mitchell comes home. And it's a 2-0 ball game. And meanwhile, the runner, Mason, advances all the way down to third. That pitch over the plate as the count now goes level at 1-1. Still nobody out in the inning. Next pitch, and that one's going to go for a strike as the count goes to 1-2. Hendrickson would love nothing more than to send Thompson packing back to the dugout empty-handed as the Panthers look to try to maybe break this game open. Ball hit into the air over to the right side. Running down, Henderson trying to make a play there, but it ends up in the gravel, and the count now at 1-2. The pitch, Hendrickson, swing and a miss, but they'll have to throw it down to first as the ball gets away. Hendrickson picking up his first strikeout of the game. One down. Runner will remain at third. Tristan Malari comes up, the pitcher, opportunity to aid his own cause. Take a strike there as the count goes 0-1. Overcast Friday afternoon. We've had on again, off again rain. It looks like it could threaten affairs next week. We'll just have to wait and see. Swing and a miss by the pitcher. Pitcher's counted 0-2 for Hendrickson. He'd like to limit the damage here with the runner on third, and strikeout here would obviously greatly help that. Next pitch that finds the soft spot of the infield to try to make the play down to first. It's not in time. Malari collects the infield hit and will bring home the runner Mason. As now the Panthers lead in the ball game 3-0. So the Panthers go back to the top of the lineup with a runner on first. Kyle Cope, who led off the ball game with a double in the first, is up for his second appearance of the game. Lead, the runner goes. Looks like we've got a courtesy runner down there for South Medford on this OSAA contest roster that I have. No numbers assigned yet. Well, let me see here. Wait a minute. I've got this here on the lineup card. That's Gannon Jones. Jones in to run for Cope. So he's now in scoring position. One down in the inning. Cope will stack out, adjust his helmet, gets back in. Righty hitter, even stance. 1-0 count. And now the count evens up at 1-1. See that they're playing him shallow, kind of shallow, it seems like, in center and right. A little more depth this time around over and left. Ball hit in the air to center field. Outfielders converge, closing the glove on it and making the play. Nolan Horner over and left. And now there's 2 down. Standing in, Cameron Sewell. Senior for South Medford, pitch way outside. Count goes 1-0. After he graduates, he's going to spend a little more time in town this summer. He's going to be playing for the Medford Rogues. So the hometown faithful will get a chance to watch him do his thing with the wood bat in the college league. Continue to get those reps in and get ready for the next level. And then after his hitch with the Rogues is done, he'll be headed off to Sacramento State next year. Sewell, lefty hitter. In addition to playing the infield, he can pitch as well. Pitched a little bit yesterday. This pitch goes inside, and advancing to third is the runner Jones. So now a runner at third, but there are 2 down. Sewell, who hit the cover off the ball last year, not only for the Panthers, but also in American Legion. Swing and a miss. Judging from the nonverbal reaction there, I think he wishes he had that one back. But he's still ahead in the count at 3-1. Gets a hold of it well and hits it hard, but foul off to the right. And that will run the count full at 3-2. Sewell 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat. He has Jones, the man, down at third. And his team up 3-0. Next pitch, that one fouled off to the left. Sewell stays alive. 3-2. Hendrickson comes to the plate. And he loses the runner. And perhaps given the dangerous hitter Sewell, perhaps that's not the worst thing, not the worst outcome. You'd love to get the out, but by the same token, you'll take a walk over a extra base hit going for RBIs anytime. That'll bring up Elijah Havey. He had an RBI triple in the first, 1 for 1 on the day. Sewell and Havey, 2 hits apiece yesterday, accounting for 4 of the 5 hits that the Panthers had in the ball game. Ball hit in the air, pop up on the infield, just outside the baseline. There's Henderson to record the out. But for the Panthers, 2 runs and 2 hits. They now lead in the ball game 3-0, and we'll be back after these messages.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Top of the third, Harry and David Field. South Medford with their first home appearance of the young season. And leading in the ball game 3-0. Tristan Malari, left-handed pitcher. He and his team have retired all 6 hitters that they've seen so far due up this inning. Hudson Waples, Ethan Uedo, and Nolan Horner. And this has been the MO of Malari all throughout this ball game. He gets ahead, gets right after the hitter. He's up in the count, 0-1. Next pitch, however, misses, and that will even things up at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Waples playing center field today. Ground ball hit down to short. Sewell collects it, throws over to first. And we've got one down. So the play goes 6-3 on the ground out. And Ethan Uedo, playing right field today, wearing number 24, right-handed hitter, steps in, making his first plate appearance of the afternoon. Malari gets that one over the plate. That will level the count at 1-1. Pitch a little inside, kicks up a little bit of dust. Uedo would like to get there and be the first runner of the day for Silverton, and no sooner than I say that, it's the little looper the opposite way. And he gets aboard, base hit. Nolan Horner coming up, playing left field today. Hitting out of the number 9 spot. Runner aboard, top of the third. Panthers leading this one 3-0. Runner goes, throws down to second base. Throw a little bit low, gets away. from the infielder from Sewell there at second. But not so much that the runner advances any further. But they do have a runner in scoring position now with one down. Silverton trying to get something going here in the top of the third. He'll show bunt, lays it down the right field side. Throw to first by Malari. The runner will advance on the sacrifice by Horner. So return to the top of the order. And with two down, we have shortstop Cade Wynn. He grounded out his first plate appearance of the day, 0 for 1. Pitch inside. Wynn gets ahead here. 1-0 count. The delivery in that one, solid contact. And there to make the play. Nice running, sliding catch. There's Jake Mason. So the Foxes, they don't score, but they get their first hit of the ball game. It is the Panthers 3. And the Foxes nothing. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you the home half of the third inning here on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one.
Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
So what do you do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Spring sports action is brought to you by our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. And our presenting sponsor is Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. Due up for South Medford in the bottom of the third. We've got Caleb Long. He'll be followed by Jordan Sawyer and Cooper Mitchell. He'll look at the first pitch. Does the catcher Long. Remember him playing a lot of right field last year. But moved behind the plate, suggesting the young man has a good arm. Now Havey down at third base after Jace Miller, who played there for so many years, is now moved on to the next level. Looks like the catcher Brady has a couple little of adjustments to make. Gets his catcher's mitt back on. He'll look at the pitch, and it goes level, now at 1-1. Long grounded out to third, his first at-bat of the day. Pitch outside. He's ahead in the count at 2-1. Pitch off the plate. Long looking to get aboard here to lead off the bottom of the third. Next pitch, that catches the inside corner. Hendrickson runs the count full now at 3-2. Next pitch right up the middle. Looked like they might have a play as it rolls down right behind the bag at second base, but Long able to get aboard. Our man on the scoreboard, Dave May, I would concur. That's a hit for Long. He gets aboard, and the Panthers already equaling their hit output from yesterday. Yeah, I don't. There was. He would have had to have a bazooka for an arm to make the play there. Now, sacrifice bunt laid down. Play at first. And winning the race to the bag is Jordan Sawyer. Well, little bunt single there for Sawyer. And that'll bring up Mitchell. Little trouble there behind the plate. Throw down to third. But getting ahead of it is the South Medford runner. So now we've got runners at the corners. With nobody out here as Mitchell stands in. Runner goes, and now a throw back to third, and coming across and scoring for South Medford. We now have a 4-0 ball game. Had a little bit of trouble behind the plate today, and in that situation, it provides scoring opportunity for the Panthers, and now they've got a runner at third. Conversation on the mound. Let's bring the scoreboard here on the computer up to date, reflecting the 1-0 count. Mitchell hit a double and scored in the first inning for South Medford. Slices that one down the home side. Count even at 1-1. Stepping out is Mitchell. Ball hit up the middle, base hit. Run will score. On the hit for Cooper Mitchell. He's now 2 for 2 on the day. Picks up the RBI. As Sawyer comes home. Timeout called. And we're going to have a pitching change. Panthers leading in the ball game 5-0. And now moving in from first base and taking over on the hill is Brash Henderson. While they take that timeout, we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break as well. Panthers leading in the ball game 5-0. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Harry and David Field. Bottom of the third. South Medford run in the first. Pair of runs in the second. And 2 runs so far here in the third. They've got a runner on first. As now Brash Henderson will take over on the mound and see if he can't stop the bleeding for the Foxes. And now we've got standing in runner at first and nobody down. So South Medford got to be feeling good today after the loss yesterday. South, their season opener against Lebanon. Tough 5A team. I remember getting a chance to see them at the 5A championships up at Salem Kaiser last spring. Shows bunt. The runner goes. Throw down to second. And they get him. Crime doesn't pay for the Panthers. Attempting the steal there is Cooper Mitchell. He is caught stealing. Good throw by the catcher Brady. And we've got one down. So now the base is clear with 1 out. Jake Mason drew a walk and scored in his first at-bat of the day. And we've got Thompson on the deck. And the count goes 2-1. Now make that 3-1. Ball hit over to right field. That ends up landing out of play. That'll run the count full at 3-2. Mason, the left fielder. Gets some contact there against Henderson. Henderson, 6-foot sophomore. There's 3 seniors on the Silverton team, so a relatively young team after what they had last year. And a swing and a miss. Henderson with success there. And for the Panthers, that's just their second strikeout so far of the day, and that will bring up Sam Thompson. He was the first strikeout victim of the day in his first at-bat, going down against Hendrickson, the starter. Swing and a miss here. That'll run the count even at 1-1. Two down on the inning. Good contact there. That'll go foul. Looked promising there for Thompson, the first baseman. He's got Malari, the pitcher, on deck. Henderson ahead in the count, but no sooner than I say that, now the count goes even. The pitch outside. Runs it level at 2-2. Next pitch, that one hit in the air to right field. Reeling it in and making the catch. That's Ethan Uito. And that will end it for the Panthers in the third. They put 2 more on the board. They lead 5-0. We'll come back with more baseball here on Table Rock Sports right after this 1-minute timeout.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
We love our sports here.
It's our responsibility to keep them great. And we need you to know your role.
You can be a player.
You can be a coach. You can be a spectator.
Or an official.
But you only get to be one.
Know your role.
Parents, release your kid to the game.
It's my experience.
Don't yell at the refs. They have a hard job.
Know your role.
Players, respect your opponents.
Love to play, win or lose.
Know your role.
So what do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Top of the fourth, South Medford in the driver's seat thus far. 5 runs on 7 hits. They've been solid in the field defensively as well. Silverton thus far in the ball game, just 1 hit. But opportunity here in the visitors' half of the fourth. This inning due up, it'll be Carson Waples, followed by Sawyer Enderly and James Brady, the cleanup hitter. So get the 2, 3, 4 hitters up. Pitch inside from Malari. Waples showing patience. He's 0 for 1 thus far on the day. 1 of 3 strikeouts for Malari on the afternoon. Next pitch. And the count goes 3-0. So Malari, who's been throwing strikes all afternoon, struggling just a little bit here to open the 4th inning. That one inside. And Waples represents the first base on ball surrendered by Malari this afternoon. So we have a runner at first. And that will bring up Sawyer Enderly, playing third base today. 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. First pitch, that one's over for a strike as the count goes 0-1. Right-handed hitter in the open stance awaits the pitch. That one off target as the count evens up at 1-1. Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends from Pinnacle 365. Use your Pete Rewards to save on gas and snacks on your next road trip. A runner down to second, and they get him. So nice play by the South Medford Panthers, erasing the runner. Count now 2-1. Swing and a miss. And the count goes even at 2-2. My apologies on the scoreboard. I see that I had not brought it up to date, and the Panthers, in reality, leading in the ball game 5-0. Again, recapping that scoring 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 in the third. And a strikeout right here. After throwing out the base runner, Enderly strikes out. And with 2 down, that'll bring up James Brady. Brady 0 for 1. First appearance today. Hit a fly ball to center field. So after surrendering the walk, Malari's back on track on the MO for him. Next pitch misses. Count goes even at 1-1. Next offering, that one hit right up the middle. There's the shortstop, Sewell. The throw across is in time. And that will end the threat for the Foxes in the top of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no Panther errors. We'll be back with the home half of the fourth after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
The days grow long, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
This is Jake. He's a serious cyclist training for his next race. Each morning, Jake takes his bike on the bus to work. By not owning a car, Jake is saving nearly $1,000 a month in gas, car payments, insurance, and repair. The money he saves allows him to participate in the Race for a Cure for breast cancer. With every ride he takes, he's 1 mile closer to crossing the finish line on behalf of his mom. Way to go, Jake!
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Bottom of the fourth we go. South Medford leading this one 5-0, due up. Tristan Malari. And then up to the top of the order with Kyle Cope and Cameron Sewell. The Panthers thus far with 5 hits, the 7 runs of this. Let's try that again. That 5 runs on 7 hits. No errors for the Foxes. No runs and 1 hit. Malari collected an infield hit, his first plate appearance today. Having a strong outing thus far on the hill for South Medford. Throwing strikes and making Coach Josh Moody's life a good deal easier. First pitch inside, goes back to the screen as the count goes 1-0. .5:40 in the evening, Pacific time. Malari now ahead on the count at 2-0. Getting a little bit of a breeze kicking back up toward the broadcast booth. Henderson on in relief of Hendrickson. Gets the strike as the count goes 2-1. Ball hit out to left center field, base hit. Malari now 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Eight hits on the day for the South Medford Panthers, who had 5 on in yesterday's contest against Lebanon. Cope, 1 for 2, scored a run. And it looks like he got nicked there, so he'll go ahead and trot down to first base. Looking no worse for wear. And now Malari will come off for the courtesy runner, Gannon Jones. Jones wearing number 13. Gannon, a junior this year for the Panthers. Ball hit off to the left, over toward the bullpen. Ball goes out of play as the count goes 0-1. Next pitch fouled back to the screen. Sewell officially 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to right field. Also drew a walk. Next pitch fouled away. The count will remain 0-2. On deck is the third baseman, Havey. A pair of runners aboard for South Medford. Ball popped up on the infield. And they're making the one-handed catch. Over there securing it. Sawyer Enderly. 1 down. Havey comes up, hit an RBI triple, popped up the first and the second at bat. He's ahead here in the count at 1-0. Next pitch from Henderson. That'll catch the outside corner. Evens things up at 1-1. That one yanked foul down the third base line. Current temperature 58 degrees here in Medford under overcast skies. Had kind of a pleasant day yesterday afternoon. Now, of course, this compared to the wet weather we've had recently is not bad. Runners go, throw down to third base. That one's high. And Jones will get underneath the tag as the runners move up. So now we have runners at second and third. Count 1-2 to the hitter, Havey. And one down in the inning. Havey, right-handed hitter, open stance. Awaits the offering from Henderson. And now the count levels up at now it's 3-2. That one fouled back. As Havey stays alive. The next offering from Henderson is high. That will load the bases up. And a golden opportunity for the number 4 hitter in the order. And that is none other than Caleb Long. Long, 1 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to third in his first trip up. Singled and scored last go around. One down. Bases loaded. Brash Henderson, who started out at first base today, opens up with a ball against Caleb Long. Swing and a miss. Long looking like he had grand designs on that one. Swings through it as the count goes even at 1-1. Next pitch off the plate. Long will watch that one go by as he gets ahead. Long showing patience at the plate. Works a hitter's count at 3-1. Next pitch, that one hit in the air, and that will end up out of play. And that runs the count full at 3-2. Henderson collects himself, throws. Long keeps himself alive by fouling it off to the right, and the count remains full at 3-2. Next pitch, and patience pays off for Long as he'll take the stroll down to first base. That'll bring home a run. As now the Panthers extend their lead to 6-0. That'll bring the coach out of the dugout as the bases remain loaded here. Just one down. And coming up will be Jordan Sawyer. So we have Cope over at third, and he's coming down to second base for a little conversation with his teammate Havey, the runner at second. And with the courtesy runner available. Now, this is the second time we've seen him today. And while I've got numbers on the lineup card for everybody for South Medford, I cannot tell you, unfortunately, who is wearing number 3 today. We have a pitching change coming up. And this will give us an opportunity to take a quick timeout. Panthers leading in the ball game by a score of 6-0. We'll be back following these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Hey, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Coming in from left field, taking over on the hill, the third pitcher of the day for the Silverton Foxes. Nolan Horner will take over. Horner, right-handed pitcher. And he can also play second base as well. 5'10" freshman. Coming in, getting an opportunity. And the first hitter he will see is Sawyer. And they're diving to make the catch. Is the right fielder, Ethan Hewitt, but a sacrifice fly, so Sawyer able to bring the run home on the sacrifice fly to make it a 7-0 ball game. Next up, Cooper Mitchell. Mitchell, 2 for 2 on the day. Scored and also has an RBI. Throw down to second base. It ends up rolling into the outfield. Coming across and scoring is Elijah Havey. And now it's an 8-0 ball game. Love that old school baseball. Force the pressure, force the issue a little bit with a stolen base attempt and get good things out of it. So now the Panthers up 8-0 in the ball game. Count now 3-0 with 2 out. Next pitch. That's one's a strike for Mitchell. Count 3-1 with 2 down. Runner scoring position with 2 out. Pitch outside. Taking the stroll down to first base. Mitchell. And that'll bring up Jake Mason. Mason, first appearance, he walked and then later scored, and then he struck out on the day. Pair of runners on with 2 down. First pitch inside from Horner. Henderson, or I should say Mason there, showing patience at the plate. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Horner working on trying to get the ball over right now. He's behind in the count, 3-0 against the pitcher Mason, against the hitter Mason. There's a strike. 3-1. 2 down. Runners at first and second. Panthers rolling along. 8-0 ball game. Pitch fouled off. And that runs the count full. Next pitch, that one's hit to left center field. That'll fall for a base hit. 1 run will score. So Mason getting the job there. His first hit of the day. Good solid contact out to left center field. Runners now at second and third. And 2 gone. First pitch to Thompson. It's a ball and the count goes 1-0. Thompson on the day, 0 for 2, struck out. Hit a fly ball to right field. He gets contact there. That will end up pulling it down the left baseline. 1 run is in, and here comes another. So South Medford blowing it open here in the home half of the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Tristan Malari, who's had a fairly nice extended break from pitching on the in this inning. The Panthers with 6 runs here in the frame as they extended their lead to 11-0. Next pitch hit in the air out to left field. And that one's going to drop in. Run comes home. And Malari, he makes it in time. A little close play there at second base, but he gets in. So Malari assisting his own cause as he brings the runner home. So it's a 12-0 ball game, and we go to the top of the order for Kyle Cope. Cope 1 for 2 on the day. Doubled and scored. Flew out to left and was hit by a pitch. Speaking of pitches, that one gets away from the catcher, and running down the third is the courtesy runner. And once again, Gannon Jones in for South Medford. A little trouble there for the catcher, Brady. Jones takes a few steps, gives him something to think about. He'll scamper back to the bag. Count now 2-0. 2 down. Pitch over for a strike as the count goes 2-1. Looks like we got a little bit of activity over in the Panther bullpen. Malari, who's done a nice job today, may have finished his assignment on the South Medford Hill. Ball hit in the air, foul. We got 2-2 the count with 2 gone. Ball hit in the air, making the play is the shortstop, and that will end it for the Panthers, but not before they put 7 on the board in the bottom of the 4th. They now lead in the ball game 12-0. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, Silverton will come up, and we'll be back with baseball action here on Table Rock Sports right after these messages.
The days grow long, calling you to pack a bag, grab the kids, and hit the road to Southern Oregon. Your journey begins when you travel Medford.
This is Jake. He's a serious cyclist training for his next race. Each morning, Jake takes his bike on the bus to work. By not owning a car, Jake is saving nearly $1,000 a month in gas, car payments, insurance, and repair. The money he saves allows him to participate in the Race for a Cure for breast cancer. With every ride he takes, he's 1 mile closer to crossing the finish line on behalf of his mom. Way to go, Jake.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Go to the top of the 5th. For a moment there, it looked like we might have Jake Lewis coming into the ball game, but instead Malari's going to go ahead and come out for the top of 5. Malari, so far today, the left-hander, surrendered just 1 hit in 4 innings of work. He has surrendered just 1 walk on the day. And unofficially has 4 strikeouts. For Silverton, coming up will be Brash Henderson. struck out his first time up. Lest there be any concern that Malari has gotten rusty after that long break, he shows right there he's still in form. Opens up by throwing a strike to Henderson, but now, after that next pitch, count evens up at 1-1. Malari bouncing ball, and that one gets through, base hit. Henderson gets aboard. And that'll bring up Logan Hendrickson, today's starting pitcher. Hendrickson 0 for 1 on the day. Henderson taking a bit of a lead, but nothing that would seem to constitute a whole lot of concern at this point. And next pitch evens it up at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Malari reaching back. Some good country hard ball there, and now he's ahead on the count at 1-2. Pitch outside as the count now goes level at 2-2. Haven't seen too many deep counts today for Malari, but we've got one here as the count goes full. Swing and a miss. And that will send Hendrickson back to the dugout. And there is one down with a runner on first. And that'll bring up Hudson Waples, center fielder. Grounded out his first time up. Coach got to come out and have a little word with his pitcher. Today's game is brought to you in part by Vista Utilities and our friends from Pinnacle 365. Use your Peak Rewards to save on gas and snacks on your next road trip. So the call goes out to the bullpen. Tristan Malari, an outing he can be proud of, just surrendered 2 hits on the day. He'll be responsible for the runner Henderson with anything that happens with him. 4 strikeouts. And so far, as they would say in soccer, a clean sheet. So with the pitching change, we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout, and then we'll be right back here on TableRockSports.net.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community. We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Daily Adventure starts at Pinnacle 365. Accelerate your day with morning motivation. That midday pick-me-up pit stop. Plus, earn free rewards with our Peak Rewards app. And when you buy Red Bull, Old Wisconsin Jerky, and many other items, you'll accumulate big savings on fuel. With locations in Oregon and California, we are here to keep you energized throughout the day. And with our Peak Rewards app, we'll help you travel further for less, keeping more money in your pocket. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
New pitcher in the ball game, Jake Lewis, the lone freshman on the varsity roster for the South Medford Panthers. He's taking his warm-up tosses. He'll have a runner on first to keep his eye on. Brash Henderson. One down here in the top of the fifth. And coming up is Hudson Waples. Waples, his first time up, grounded out to Cameron Sewell. South Medford with a pair of home dates coming up this week. They'll be in action on Tuesday and then again on Thursday. Swing and a miss. As Lewis gets it started right, if you're a Panthers fan, he's ahead 0-1. Lewis blows that one by. And by the way, I want to say thank you to all the folks watching down the way. You Silverton Foxes fans watching here on TableRockSports.net. And Lewis strikes out the first hitter that he sees. Waples goes down. And now hitting is Halter. Cohen Halter, senior, 5'10", outfielder, right-handed pitcher. And Lewis getting right after it. He's ahead 0-2 with 2 down in the inning. Next pitch. Halter gets a hold of that one, but it is hit in the air to center field. And they make the catch. And that will do it for the outing today between the South Medford Panthers and the Silverton Foxes. The mercy rule comes into effect. And South Medford evens their record up now at 1-1 on the season. The winning pitcher is Tristan Malari. He's now 1-0 on the year. And if we were to choose a player of the game, I think you'd definitely have to go to him. He was just right on top of it. We didn't have the opportunity to see yesterday's game, but it sounded like a lot of the struggle that Josh Moody's crew had yesterday was getting the ball over the plate, and that was clearly not the case for today, whether it was Malari who started the ball game or whether it was Lewis that came on in relief. Well, we appreciate you coming in and watching us today. For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. South Medford, the Panthers team, got to go gather over in left field and talk things over as they wrap up the day. Our My Circle K post-game show, we're going to make it a quick one here, other than just to say that the Panthers with 12 runs on 10 hits, no errors, and with the performance on the mound by Malari and Lewis, it was a complete team performance today. As South Medford, I think, shows us more of what the season's going to be like for them. We truly expect that this strong, formidable program is going to continue to be a powerhouse here in Oregon 6A baseball. Meanwhile, Silverton now goes down to 0-2 on the young season. That'll wrap up things here. We'd like to thank you for watching today's live streaming action. We'd like to thank James Joy, the South Medford High School Athletic Director, for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net and today's broadcast. Our next Table Rock Sports presentation featuring the South Medford baseball team will come up on Tuesday. And that will be against the Grants Pass Cavemen. It's going to be right here at Harry and David Field. First pitch at 4:30 p.m. And then you might want to mark your calendar for next Thursday, as the Panthers will be here once again to take on the Ashland Grizzlies from the 5A ranks. And once again, that will be a 4:30 game. For my cameraman, Johnny McCoy, I'm Jim McCoy. Thank you for tuning in this evening, and we look forward to being with you once again here on TableRockSports.net.